Hi you guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. As you can see from the title, today we're gonna speak on my miscarriage story. So first of all, I want to say to my subscribers, thank you so much for always returning and watching my videos, and I really appreciate you guys. But for the people who don't really know who I am but landed on my video searching, what I want to say to you is I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I definitely know exactly how you feel. I know the heartbreak, and my heart goes out to you because you're going through this. So hopefully my story today can help you seek comfort a little bit. It won't take it away fully, but at least you can find comfort in knowing that you're not alone, and I'm with you too. Going back to the beginning, and by the beginning I mean if you would have talked to me about maybe 2 years ago, maybe even a year and a half ago, and you would have asked me if I wanted any more kids, I would have told you, no, I do not want any more kids. So for those of you that don't know, I've been married for over 10 years. I have an almost 18-year-old daughter, and I also have an 8-year-old daughter as well. So you can see my kids are very spaced out, and there's a reason for that, because I have one kid and then I'm like, no more, no more. And then you get hit with baby fever and you want more, you know? After the birth of my second daughter, who is now 8, I decided, like, I'm good. I don't want any more kids. 2 is enough. There's a funny saying in this life, man plans and God laughs, because sometimes we make a plan and we think we know how our lives are gonna go. As we know, our life doesn't go that way because there's a plan set for us. Back in around September, October 2020, my husband got into a really bad work accident where he fell off of a ladder and he had to do a surgery. When that happened, and whenever an accident happens in your life, you start to think about, I don't know, you start to think deeply about your life. We started thinking about, well, what if we added one more child to our family? You know, like, why would that be so bad? Baby fever hit, and we decided, okay, we're open to it. We're not gonna try. We're just open to the idea of having another child. Let's fast forward now to November 1st, 2021. So now we're talking a whole year after that conversation. I just started having the feeling like, okay, I'm getting weird, feelings. I'm getting cravings, food aversions. I'm getting all kinds of feelings. And, obviously I'm a mom, so I've been pregnant before. I know that feeling. You kind of know when your body feels odd to you. I took the pregnancy test on November 1st and I got the positive. It was bright. I was very pregnant. So this was even before I actually missed my period. So I was very surprised to see such a bright positive. I was so excited to see that positive, even though we weren't even trying. We were, it wasn't something that we were trying for at the moment. We were just doing what married people do. That's it. I was very excited. I called the doctor right away, told my husband right away, told some friends right away. I was just in bliss, as you can imagine. I made the appointment and they asked me how far I was. So according to the app, I should have been about 5 weeks pregnant on November 1st. They told me, okay, our first appointment that we could take you in is the 18th of November. Come in, and then we'll go from there. It was just a moment of happiness because I didn't expect to, I guess, be pregnant that time, but you know how it is when you get pregnant. That's just the feeling when you're actually wanting a baby. It's such a good feeling. So as with everything, nothing lasts forever, and that excitement came to an abrupt halt. I go into the doctor's office on November 18th, and first of all, the doctor, you know, that's a story for another day. He was rushing out. He didn't even know I was there. I wasn't checked in properly. He didn't have time, so he kind of rushed through my examination. He asked me, obviously, what's the last date of your period? I told him I should be, you know, at that point, maybe like, I don't know, like closer to like, I don't know, the 7-week mark. I don't even know, but regardless, he did the scan. So as he is searching my belly, usually when they check your belly and they check, you know, everything with the scan, you can read their faces. You can look on their emotions and see what's going on. And me, I can read you before anything. Like, that's my talent. So he's doing the scan on my belly, and his face just straight face. No smiling, no nods, no nothing. And he didn't say anything. So as the silence is continuing, I know something's wrong. He didn't even have to tell me. At that moment when he didn't say anything and he didn't comment, I knew right away that something's wrong. I didn't know what. I didn't know if there was no heartbeat. I didn't know anything. I just knew that there was something wrong. I felt it in my gut at that moment. After he, you know, looked at me and he said, I see the sac, I see the gestational sac, and I see the yolk sac, but I don't see a fetus. I was like, how can I have a gestational sac? How can I have a yolk sac and there not be a fetus? I don't understand that. And he's like, I'm gonna send you to this other place, this radiology place, to do a sonogram, and that way they can get, you know, a better look. We're just doing the ultrasound on top. It may be early. Your dates might have been off. First of all, I feel whenever they tell you your dates are off, it's usually not the case. It's usually that obviously there's something wrong. And it hurts. So I went numb. I didn't have any feeling because, one, I was mad. I took like my feeling out on the doctor. I was like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm gonna go get me a second opinion. Like, I got an attitude. Like, I was not here for it. I was very numb. I left that appointment and got comfort in speaking to some friends and my mom and stuff like that, because I told them all, like, he said he didn't see a fetus. Like, I was just numb through it all. And I was in denial because ain't nobody could tell me that I wasn't pregnant. My belly was growing. I had cravings, and the cravings only went up from there. Like, from that day that he told me there was no fetus, more cravings, more of everything. I was more and more pregnant. Instead of going to the radiology appointment, I actually started to research other doctors, and I started to look to see if there's someone else that I can see. So there was actually someone that was very close to me, a doctor's office. And if there's anything that I love through this process, even though this process was so hard, there was even a glimmer of light, which there was, is that I found this new doctor. He's amazing, but I'm gonna get there. So I was able to get the appointment with this doctor like early December, and I went in. I explained all the situation to this doctor, and he's like, okay, this is the first time that you're in, so let's just check it out and see what we have and see what we have to work with. And I actually went in, and of course, you know, I told ultrasound tech, I told her, you know, all that was going on. I just, you know, went to a doctor a couple, you know, weeks ago, and they said they didn't see a fetus. I just want to get a second opinion, and also I want a new doctor. And, you know, just to feel a little bit more, you know, empathy, compassion, all that stuff, you know. And she said, you know, how much, how, when was your date of your last period? So I told her, and she's like, yeah, you should be a little farther. The sac is measuring like 5 weeks something, 5 weeks 2 days, I think it was 5 weeks 2 days. And basically I was like 3 weeks behind or something like that. But she's like, yeah, same thing, no fetus. She's like, I'm so sorry, this is your first visit with us and we have to give you this bad news. And I was just like, no. I was like, it's okay. Like, again, I don't know, like I was numb through the whole process. I was like, it's okay, like I already knew. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, what I was saying, you know. I was just so numb to the whole thing. And then doctor comes in and we have to talk, and he's like, you know, we don't like to make decisions quickly. He's like, why don't you come in again in 1 week? And I said, okay, I'll come in 1 week. At that moment, when the ultrasound technician had told me that no progression, there was no growth, it was just same as the other doctor, 5 weeks 2 days, I was like, the sac is measuring no fetus. No, this pregnancy is not viable. In my head, I was like, that's it. This pregnancy is not viable. And the doctor, he wanted, you know, obviously he was like, come back in a week, maybe the dates are off. And it's like, okay, I'll come back in a week. Came back in a week, and again, measuring the same exact size, 5 weeks 2 days. It was so frustrating, you know. It's frustrating because my body, everything in my body was telling me I was pregnant. But I'll tell you, after that second appointment with the doctor for the first time, my symptoms started going down right away. And I said to one of my friends, who actually found out she was pregnant the same day, and she's still pregnant to this day. I'm so happy for her, actually. I said to her, it's almost like as soon as my brain heard no progression in the pregnancy, it was like, oh, snap out of it. But even when I went back after the doctor said give it a week, and I came back no progression, my body didn't want to let go of the pregnancy. And that part for me was just mind-boggling. I was telling my body, I was telling my brain, like, you're not pregnant. You can let it go. You can let this pregnancy go. It's okay. Like, I had to like coach my body into like telling my body that there's no baby. You don't have, there's nothing to take care of. You can let it go. And I talked to my body, I talked to my brain, I talked to my heart, like nothing was happening. And I was still getting nausea, and I was still getting so many cravings, and I was miserable. And actually I called the doctor, and I was like, you know, we made a decision together to like do the DNC, which was scheduled to be like 2 weeks later. And I called him back within like a couple of days. I was like, I can't wait 2 weeks like this. I'm getting pregnancy cravings. I'm getting all the pregnancy nausea, but there's no baby. And I'm miserable. And he's like, okay, come in today. Can you come in today? And I was like, yeah, I can come in today. I'm going to come in today. And I went in, and he gave me the Cytotec. It's basically 4 pills that you put in your cheeks, and it starts to pretty much, you know, left of the pregnancy, it helps the pregnancy to release, to come down. And I took that pill on a Monday, and by Tuesday, everything came out. My pregnancy was very short-lived, very, very short-lived. But for me, because there was no fetus, it was a very confusing time for me. It's like I kept telling myself, and I became very, very mean to myself at this time, like very mean. The things that you tell yourself when you're going through these dark times, I was like, your body's not working. That's why you couldn't make. You can imagine if you're going through this, you already know all the things you're telling yourself in your head, and they're just not true. They're just not true. I kept telling, myself, my body's not working. But actually, a miscarriage is proof that your body's working. Our bodies are made so wonderfully in a sense that when it recognizes that life cannot continue, it won't let that life continue. When it recognizes that something's wrong early on, it will stop progression. The fact that I even got pregnant, that you got pregnant, it means that you can get pregnant. And even though it's so frustrating and so hurtful this time that we are going through, it will pass. No time stays. Happy times, they're temporary, but also dark times and painful times, they're also temporary as well. What I realized is I was grieving the life that I created for myself, because the minute you hear that you're pregnant, or you find out that you're pregnant, you get so excited and, oh my gosh, my life's gonna be like this. Now I'm gonna have 3 kids. Like, what am I gonna do with 3 kids? I wonder if it's a boy or a girl. What about the nursery? What about where we're gonna live? Things like that. I started to plan my life. So when that was taken from me, my dreams were taken from me. My hopes were taken from me. But what I failed to realize is this path that, this future without this baby, it's the path that I'm on, and it's the path that was destined for me at this time. So if I am meant to have another child or a child in the future, it will happen. I believe it will happen. And now I can fully understand why they call it rainbow baby. I understand. I never could really fully grasp why it's called rainbow baby. But when you're going through these dark storms and you're crying and you're pouring out your soul and you're in this dark place and there's so much dark clouds, the only thing that you want to look towards is a rainbow. The rainbow is like that light at the end. It makes you smile and it makes you hopeful that these storms is going to pass. And there's a rainbow after almost every storm. So I realized that through going through this. And I want so badly to let whoever's going through this to realize it as well, to realize it too, that it's gonna be okay and you're gonna be okay. And it's okay to feel all the feelings, and it's okay to go through all the things. We have to. If we didn't cry, we didn't go through pain, like, what are we, robots? No, like, we have to go through all of this, and it's okay. We're human. We're mothers, Bittersweet about this experience, because I'm bitter because obviously it didn't go as I planned it, and obviously there was a change of plans. But what I got to realize is, even within all this storm and all this darkness, I got to see I got to feel gratefulness. I am grateful for my husband. I am grateful that he is so supportive. I'm grateful that everyone that I did tell that I was pregnant, I was able to lean on when I lost my pregnancy. They were my rocks. I wasn't sorry that I told anyone. I was so happy that I was able to entrust them with that amazing secret. And not only that, they were the ones who held me down when I needed a shoulder to cry on. I'm grateful for my 2 daughters who are amazing, amazing daughters. I'm grateful for everything that I do have, not for the things that I don't have yet. I live by a motto in life, and that motto is every single thing that's happening to me is happening for me. I'm a strong believer, whether you're a believer or not. It's okay, because I'm a believer, you may not be a believer, but we're in the same place here together, and it's okay. When God gives me good, I can rejoice. But also, if God takes away or God doesn't give, I can still rejoice, because maybe at the time it's not for me. Maybe there's something else that I have to do first, and then later I can get whatever it is. The answer is never no. The answer is usually not yet. So I do believe that fully within my heart, that this was given to me. And like I said, for so long I went without wanting a child. For so long I said no. Robyn, have another child? No, not for me. I don't want no other child. But then when I got pregnant, I realized how much I'm ready to have another child. And I'm grateful for that realization. That's how I'm looking at it. I also used YouTube to go through this. I looked at every miscarriage story. Every woman, I felt like at the time when I was watching the video, she was my sister. And we were going through this together. So the YouTube stories, if you haven't gotten a chance to check out all the YouTube miscarriage stories, just hearing them talk about their miscarriage, it really brought comfort, and it made me feel a part of something, and comforted and hugged. And these women feel exactly the same thing that I feel. Now I wanted to tell my story. So I am hopeful for the future. I'm okay if I get pregnant, and I'm okay if that's not the path that's written for me. I'm good both ways, actually. And I've come to that place right now where I can actually smile, and I can actually have hope in the future. Now I can actually say that I'm very grateful that I went through this, because there's no way you can understand miscarriage unless you went through it. There's no way that you can understand this, and I don't wish this on anyone. But for me, the fact that this happened allowed me to realize so much. I took for granted being able to, pee on a stick, see a positive, and know in 9 months a baby's coming. I took that for granted. So now every life is so precious to me, and I'm so grateful that I was able to at least come out from this a better person. I'm so looking forward to whatever comes next, and I will keep you guys informed for sure. I want you guys to leave a message down below, a beautiful message for someone who is going through this, or leave your story if you want. Just start telling your story down below if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, just leave me a heart or a heartbroken emoji. That way I can send you back some love. And yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I know that it's very long, but I'm so thankful that I'm able to get it out. And I hope you guys all have a better rest of the day. And I hope that your year of 2022 brings much magic and much rainbows. So thank you so much again. If you have stayed with me all the way to the end, definitely like this video and subscribe if you'd like to be a part of my community. And I want to thank you so much. Bye.